Merry morning and moon, sweet friends. It is Moonwind Fairy here to do your sneak peek into the new week message, energy, and vibes general reading. As always, general readings just mean if you happen to see this, there might be a message here for you. If not, I'm just telling stories. And it doesn't mean a thing. All right, so let's see what we got going on. This is the first full week of spring. So feels lighter. It feels good. Let's see what the cards have to say. The moon. I know. Four of Wands. Wands represent our energy, our enthusiasm, and our passion. Nine of Pentacles. Good stuff. Pentacles represent our hearth and home and how we make our monies. Knight of Swords. Swords are our thoughts and our intellect. Three of Wands. Wands, energy, enthusiasm, and passion. Phew. So I think what we got going on is we got the moon. The moon is uncertainty. It's feeling like underwater. Almost, and also, you got the two little wolfies here. This is fears. This is hopes and dreams. So you might be in some kind of situation where the reason why you're feeling uncertain is because you're feeding your fears. Don't want to do that. But this is also intuition. Then you got the Knight of Swords. Here I come to save the day. This is rushing in. This could be recklessness. This can be a very, a message coming in quickly. But to me, swords are our thoughts and our intellect. This is a very kind of, could be aggressive energy too, but it's like rushing in, very reckless. But it could be a message that comes in quickly. Yeah, I got Three of Wands. Three of Wands is it's time for your ship to come in. It's time for you to look towards your future with hope and enthusiasm. Time to get excited. Because Four of Wands, you want to be celebrating life with family and friends. This could be, upcoming gathering, wedding, some kind of situation where you're getting together with people that you like and love. And then there's Nine of Pentacles. And Pentacles represent our hearth and home and how we make our monies. But Nine of Pentacles is about having that fulfilled life. This is having worked hard and actually having the home you love, decorating it for the seasons, garden, your pets. This is spiritual and material satisfaction. So I'm going to say the vibe for this new week is a satisfaction. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be in your job, but I think overall you're feeling satisfied. But let's see where we're going with that. I think maybe in the past we could have been reckless. We could have rushed into situations, or we could have allowed our mind to entertain thoughts, anxious thoughts. To me, this is kind of like anxiety. So you were really, in a sense, the uncertainty that you were feeling was maybe based on being reckless in the past, and so you're feeling uncertain maybe about the future. Maybe you're feeling, but I think what you've learned with the moon's energy in this reading kind of has taught you is you need to feed your hopes and dreams. Whereas back when you were reckless, or maybe you're still in a reckless phase, and reckless to me can mean anything. It could be in your lifestyle, it could be in your behavior, your habits. Doing something reckless to me means it's not beneficial to you. So, and your thoughts being reckless. So I think those were feeding your fears. And so that kind of kept you underwater all the time, feeling uncertain. But I think you're coming up for air here, and you're going to start feeding your hopes and dreams. And you're going to trust your intuition as opposed to running into situations. Maybe you're maybe the lesson was you learned some kind of, how to listen to your gut too, because you're excited about the future. You're looking towards your future with hope and enthusiasm, because it is time for your ship to come in. It is time for you to be celebrating life with family and friends. And this kind of goes back to a couple of readings I did ago, but I really feel this sense of personal connection is becoming way more than it was before, if that makes any sense. Because you want satisfaction. You want satisfaction in your home, in your environment, in your relationships. You want to feel satisfied. That's what I'm going to say. The vibe is satisfied. And that means to me that you're not lacking. You're content. It's a very wonderful feeling. But I'm going to say, yeah, satisfied is the vibe for a sneak peek into the new week. Because I think we're coming away from some kind of nonsense. All right, let's see what's going on. We go the Lovers, because you may be falling in love with your partner all over again. You may be having a new love come in. You could be choosing a path or a direction, which makes, feeding your hopes and dreams. So you're choosing with your heart. But the Lovers represent a choice in love. Or you could be just loving yourself. All right. 6 of Cups. This could be somebody from the past coming in. This could be just feeling really nostalgic. But it could also mean it's time to heal the past. And again, like I said, it could be, or maybe I didn't say, it could be way past, childhood stuff. 6 of Cups also, to me, represents siblings and childhood, got the little kiddos. All right, let's see what else we got going on. 9 of Cups, because you got the wish card. This is the fulfilled life. You got 9 of Cups and 9 of Pentacles. This is going to be a good week. And, oh, jeez. The Lovers twice. This deck has 3 lovers and 2 moons, I think. Anyway, well, that just emphasizes that the choice. You have some kind of choice to make having the Lovers. And that could be to choose to love your partner all over again. It could be, choosing a new love. It could be choosing a path or direction with your heart. It also could mean choosing to love yourself, to have boundaries. Because I do think we're coming away from a recklessness, a lifestyle, habits, behaviors, relationships that we're just kind of rushed into, not much thought, even though this, is thoughts and intellect. This is, rushing in, aggressive, not a fun thing. So I think we're choosing to love ourselves, to not feed our fears anymore. We're choosing to feed our hopes and dreams. We're also choosing to remember fondly our, we've got that nostalgia. I think when we get to that place in our life where we're feeding our fears, especially as adults, and as we get older, we're kind of like, oh gosh, remember? And that's what I mean. It feels like this vibe. It's like we're going back in time, or at least I feel that way. It's like, it feels like the 80s. Like you want to be in that kind of era again. I think probably because this one is wacky. Anyway, that's just my opinion. But it feels like you want to be celebrating life with family and friends. You want to be, with people. You want to be around that kind of energy. This is celebrating life with family and friends. This is looking towards your future with hope and enthusiasm, because you're grateful for what you have in life. You're abundantly blessed. You've got the wish card. And you're overall satisfied with your life. So that's what I'm going to say. The vibe is feeling satisfied. And I think it's because we're coming away from some nonsense. We're choosing to love ourselves. We're choosing to go in the direction with who we love, what we love, where we love. we're not reckless anymore. And in that recklessness, and there's kind of a defiance almost, but that was feeding your fears. We're not doing that anymore. We're not going to feed our fears. We're going to be healing past if there is that, but we're also looking back at our lives feeling nostalgic too. And we want to be hopeful for our future. We want to be celebrating life with family and friends. We got wishes coming true. We've got things to be grateful for and abundance that we're pretty fulfilled. Overall, we're feeling satisfied. That's what I got for you. Thanks for hanging out with me. You have a blessed and beautiful new week. I'll talk to you soon. Blessings and love.